So, start of Saturday. Sunday.
Shit.
Bug wife needs help.
These heels are insane.
These heels are insane. There we go.
One more.
Yep, just the curb. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Now we got
So, now we got this ready to go today. So, last day of the con, got up earlier than normal, or got out earlier than normal, actually out before noon. I'm trying to make the Beards panel. And that doesn't necessarily do anything for Chris over here. Chrissy.
Hey.
There you go. No, I mean,
Chrissy.
yeah, Chrissy. There's a logical connection.
You're just gonna download, it's Kerr now.
It's Kerr.
And now it's just C.
It's just Kerr.
Princess C.
Princess
Or
Kerr.
Queen C.
Queen Kerr.
Queen Kerr.
Queen Kerr. Queen Kerr.
No, stop.
Queen Kerr.
You're done.
That sounds like a line of gas stations. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go down to the Queen Kerr and get pick a couple of gallons, get a couple of Slim Jims. Hey, do you need an iced tea or anything like that? Let's go get it.
You're done.
Queen Kerr. Get in, get out, Kerr fast. I don't know. Too much good
I don't
stuff.
know who this man is anymore.
So anyway,
He's abducted me.
I have stolen the bug wife. Anyway. So, just got done with the Beards panel, where we discussed tips, tricks, tools, styles, things, and yeah, I guess, I don't know. I'm not staff. So things like that, and yeah, it was super fun. I really enjoyed it, and a lot of things were happening, and a lot of fun stuff. So now, vlogging, and now I'm done with the panel, so I get to hang out with Stitch a little bit more. We'll probably grab food or something. Stitch, hang out with Stitch. The girl that I've been hanging out with for 4 days now? 3 days? 4 days. 4 days straight. Yeah, Wednesday. So, you know, that's that.
Free bird!
Free bird! Okay, so I'm walking around Citra's booth. I'm walking around the vendor hall, and I come to Citra's booth. You know, good buddy of mine, cool guy. Has great art. You know, sells a lot of fun, interesting shirts. Got some great stuff going on. Does, you know, on-spot commissions. And then I come across this, and I'm like, whoa, that is so weird. I'm like, yeah, I can tell that it's an inversion, but then I'm like, man, he actually did that by hand. And then he hands me his phone, and he's like, holy crap.
Whoa!
Like,
Oh, that's so cool!
I know,
Capture
right?
more for visual effects goes to...
Like, and that's hand done too.
It's like looking into the different
That
dimensions.
is so cool!
It's so
Let's try it. You know what? I gotta do that.
like, yeah, like this isn't just messing around. This is actual like inversion of everybody. Like everybody is around, and then like you've got all that going on. But I'm like, legit, like, dude, that's effort to actually have that in real life. And that wasn't printed off. That was actually him with like colored pencils.
I use my phone to make sure I have the right colors, but a lot of it is opposite thinking. Like, if I want to leave gaps between the teeth, I gotta leave it pure white. And making sure the hair has strong contrast and darkness, I leave a lot of the white.
God damn,
That is
dude.
cool shit.
Citra, man. I'm like, your art blows me away, but this blows me away, man.
It was definitely a fun idea.
My God. Also, this new vinyl is actually really good too. I really like that vinyl. Yeah, because it reminds me of you in our Skype calls. I get it. Yeah.
What?
Reminds me of you in our Skype calls. not that hot outside. You can roll with winds there. That's more, the wind is going to be too much for your wig.
No. I don't mind it getting a bit matted because Chrysalis's hair is supposed to be kind of matted.
It's supposed to be kind of disheveled.
Kind of disheveled.
Yeah,
Somebody like was like, I love what you did with your wig. It's so perfect. I'm like, I just don't brush it.
I don't know why, but after I dumped my phone, it wanted to go back to the internal storage, which I thought was full.
As soon as you went to your panel, I went and stood over by Pinky and talked to her for a minute.
Yeah.
And then Dusty's like, "Hey, come here!" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Take a picture with me." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, Dusty. I'll take a picture with the manliest brownie.
With the manliest brownie.
Manliest brownie. Man, the first time Dusty wanted to take a picture with me, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, all right.
That was just when I had the mustache. I love how that like Asian dude like yeah. I love how that Asian dude was just like nailing specifically like to my sleep apnea stuff. And
Yeah, it was a little weird.
I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, I was just like, man, I'm like, my snoring is the absolute worst.
Apparently
Like,
he's been going around to a lot of the vendors asking if they have restful sleep. Because like, I was talking to Ashley, and Ashley's like, yeah, this little Asian dude came up to me and was like, do you get restful sleep at night? I was like, okay.
well, for someone like me, that actually kind of helps.
No, I'm not saying it
I
doesn't.
like the
I'm just
information,
saying
definitely.
it is
But it's
interesting.
super awkward, like a thing to ask someone, like,
Right?
what? And then he's like, you should definitely avoid driving. And I'm like, ha
No.
ha! That's funny, man. Funny man, this one. We march for Midway. We march for Midway. So I was at the beard panel. So I was waiting for the beard panel, and I was waiting for the beard panel, and Silverquill was finishing up his panel, like just talking to some of the guys. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. You know, he's sitting there talking, and he's like, oh yeah, flying, and yeah, this, that. Coming into Salt Lake City is the worst because it's like water, and then there's a mountain, and it's just like, oh man. And it's like, yeah, well, that kind of sucks. And it's like, oh yeah, this place used to be a, Air Force station in the war, and I'm like, oh, so Midway International, right? Midway International, that'd be fucking hilarious if they put an international airport on Midway. Because, Midway was the battle point for the war because of the refueling station. Yep, you got it. You understand. Every time I hit the gas, it makes me feel like an alcoholic.
Why?
Those cans in the back just... like, oh man. I was about to say, I'm like, I have my wallet, right? That could have been bad.
I fucking love Binkin. Look at his little tiny shell bra.
So hot.
So tiny.
So hot. think it's the fucking best. I couldn't tell if that was a little baby bird or a butterfly that just went flapping by.
A gender-neutral term for sugar daddy is a glucose guardian.
That's what guardian?
Glucose guardian.
Glucose guardian? Nice. I was at work the other day. I'm like, what's the gender-neutral term for homeboy? And then I was thinking about it for a while, and I'm like, oh wait, homie.
Huh?
Homie.
Homie.
Homie. Yo, what up, homie? I jokingly posted the other day on Tumblr. I'm like, I am aromantic, heterosexual. You know, please respect my life choices. And someone legitimately came back. Oh, I remember what happens here. Legitimately came back, and it's like, no, that's completely a normal thing. A buddy of mine has that, and I'm like,
Oh.
you realize I just said I don't want to date. I just want to fuck the opposite sex of me, right? You realize that's literally what it is. If someone ever came up to you and said, it was like, oh yeah, hey, what's your sexuality chart thingy? So there's yeah, I'm like, oh, aromantic, heterosexual. And just be like, you're a fucking asshole. You know that? You don't want to date, you just want to fuck? Yeah. Yeah, great. I mean, that's what I feel like that definition means. I mean...
I'll get the fingers.
The fingers? 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, whatever you don't eat, I'll...
Welcome to Raising Canes. What can I get for you?
Hey, can I get the box combo?
Box combo in your drink?
Sprite? Yeah, Coke?
Anything else?
Yeah, if I could also get Canic combo, sub the slaw for another thing of toast and an extra sauce.
I'm sorry, you said substitute the coleslaw for an extra sauce and one extra toast?
Well, I mean, like the slaw for another thing of toast, and then also, in addition to that, can I get a sauce? Yeah, can I get sweet tea?
Anything else?
That'll be it.
Sauce come with the Coke. Cognac combo nickel extra toast, one sweet tea, and one extra cane sauce, $20.17. That's your last right here. No, thank you.
Cool beans. I had a lady one time that was like, oh my god, you say cool beans. Like, did she say first one down? First one down? Yeah, okay. Oh, it was next one? Okay. Got it. Oh no, I'll get copyrighted. What?
You have a box combo with a Coke, a Cognac combo with a extra toast, water sweet tea, and a cane sauce?
Yeah. I mean,
2017.
cool. Show me in a second. Here you go, ma'am. Thank you. What? Covert selfie with... Oh, is that... What's her fuck behind her?
No, that's Travis.
Oh, Travis. Oh yeah, hey, that is Travis.
He wasn't paying attention, so he's just like,
Thank you, ma'am.
And take me ketchup with your order.
Do you want to catch a bit?
no ranch?
Ranch?
No, we don't.
I don't have ranch. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Careful with that lid on that one. Speaking of...
Great day.
Thank you, ma'am.
How dare you set your sustenance on your queen?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Queen. Alright.
Do not trifle with these peasants.
Fucking peasants. Oh my god. So there's this female wrestler. Her name's Charlotte. And she's the daughter of a famous wrestler. And she calls... And she's such a heel. Like, she's a bad character. She's a mean person. She calls the audience peasants. I'm your queen! I don't respond to you, peasants! And I'm just like, oh, she's so good. She's so good! Like, her character, I'm just like, man, what a bitch. And she's so good at it.
That's why I like cosplaying as Chrysalis, because I can sit there and mean mug people and nobody cares.
Mm-hmm. I probably could have.
That one brony came back. The one who wanted to touch my tail.
Fuck that guy.
He came back. And he's like, Chrysalis, you're so pretty. And he's like, talk to me.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for the compliment.
I didn't
Now
say,
give me your love.
I didn't say don't talk to me. I was just like, thank you. And then I went and sat by Dusty. I was just like, I'm gonna chill here. He's like, that's cool. That's cool.
I can understand that. Snuffers.
There's this one brony, like as I was walking to find you, he starts like talking to me as if I am the actual character.
Oh, that's fun.
And I was like, okay, alright, I can get into this. He's like, I'm writing a fanfic about you. And in my head, I'm like, oh god, what? And he's like, I'm writing the elements of chaos. And in my head, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's already a thing. And he's like, yeah, Chrysalis is gonna be the,
Element of stealing?
no, the element of,
Theft?
no, I don't remember what it was. He said something.
Unrequited love?
Unrequited love. I said she should be the element of deception because she's a changeling. And he's just like, no, it's gonna be Flim and Flam. And I said, no, Flim and Flam should be the element of thievery. Because it's selling snake oils and stealing people's money. And he's just like, no, that doesn't make sense. I was like,
I'm like, okay, buddy.
it's your story, I'm just trying to help.
It's your story, buddy.
Where are we eating?
Where do you want to eat?
I don't know.
Well, I'm okay eating almost anywhere.
You wanna do what?
I'm okay eating almost anywhere. I don't know if you want to just scarf it in the room or...
Kind of.
Alright, let's just go scarf it in the room. That'll give me a chance to see if my battery pack is done charging. Play them up.
I mean, we can go eat in the hotel, not in the hotel, in the con space, and just kind of talk to Travis, and just sit and chill until the con dies down, and then come back and change, and then find people who are still hanging around and hang out with them, like cool people.
Yeah, there's a thing that can happen. Bear with me here for a second. I hate people that never check their parking. I mean, like, if you can get it in one shot, for sure, guaranteed,
Yeah.
then that's great. But if you're fucking, like, over the line or anything like that, I am so, like, fuck you, asshole. I'll get the drinks. I'll help you out with this.
Where do we decide we're going?
Yeah, we can drink. We can eat at the thing. I can smell the smoker's pit. Let me help you out.
Okay. Did you want your phone?
Yeah. Okay.
Wait. Okay.
There we go. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm here with Chopsticks. He's pulled me aside to do the whole OC review thing. So I'm gonna let Chopsticks has told me that he's got a pretty long story. So I'm gonna listen to the story first, and then we'll look at pictures. So tell me about your OC.
Okay, Chopsticks grew up in a large family of unicorns. He is a Pegasus and the only Pegasus of his family. So what he had to do was learn how to get all of his older brothers and sisters who can use magic, and they tease him with it. So he had to find ways to work around this. And he has large, long, oversized wings as a genetic defect from having a Pegasus and a unicorn. They're just the way it came out. And so he started using his wings as fingers, and that eventually developed into part of what his special talent is. When he got his cutie mark, it was when he realized that him as a person was, or him as a pony.
I was about to say, I was like, ah.
Him as a pony.
It was a pun.
Is very versatile, kind of like a jack of the all trades artistically. So he's good at the hoof arts with his wings. And so rice being his favorite food, he realized is something that's you put with anything. You know, you stick rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all kinds of foods, and it just kind of brings out the best in it. And when all that kind of fell into place, he got his cutie mark.
Okay.
And so his cutie mark is a rice bowl with a pair of chopsticks in it, which goes
Simplistic
along.
design, yeah.
Yeah, and all of his family is actually named after kitchen and kitchen utensils and eating utensils and things like that. And they
More European utensils and whatnot.
mostly, but like Ladle Up is his father.
Yeah.
And let's see, other family.
I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like, well, if, he's got like a fork spoon.
His older sister is Pepper Mill, and she's a server at the Cultured Cuisine.
Colt. Sure.
Cuisine.
Nice.
That his father does the cooking Ladle Up, and his mother is Corkscrew Scissors, which is actually named after the aerial maneuvers. But when they got together, everything kind of fell into place, and she does deliveries. So while his mother is doing a lot of deliveries, being the only Pegasus in the family, Chopstick didn't really have a lot of his mother there to help him. So he had to learn around the magic with all the unicorns of his other siblings.
Yeah.
But he's got a school-age brother and sister, Tweezers, and Teardropper.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
So and then I got like a family tree that's set out, but
Yeah.
But
I was just thinking about that whole thing with like chopsticks, and if there were like more European influences, that could kind of like highlight the fact that he is sort of the black sheep of the family, with being a Pegasus, not a unicorn. I like that. I like that a lot.
Okay, thank you. Character. He's very scatterbrained, has very poor short-term memory, but he wants to save time with his multitasking. And we have a poor short-term memory. Trying to multitask a lot, you get issues.
Yeah.
And he needs some form of artwork or artistic challenge to keep himself focused. And when he does get an artistic challenge, he will, zero in, super focus with it, and then let's see. I should read it. Once an artistic challenge gets in his way, he spends an unhealthy amount of time working on it until he's either satisfied or explodes in anger or depression. Once focus is locked, it doesn't bode well with his usual attempted multitasking. Chopsticks is sometimes perceived as lazy when out and about. He might be quiet and polite, but does poorly to clean up after himself and is prone to leaving messes. Chopsticks is obsessed with rice and tries to find ways to eat it every snack and meal. That is when he isn't accidentally burning it while he's multitasking. He's a bit of a slob. Getting work done on his latest artistic craze is considered infinitely more important than dealing with the occasional bug problem, or 2 or 3.
Yes. Bug. I know.
Some bits of trivia about him. Unintentionally, just based around his upbringing and occasional mishap and encounters, he's somewhat prejudiced against earth ponies and non-flying, non-magical inhabitants like Arthurs and others.
Okay.
He's left-wing dominant.
Yeah. Yeah. I can believe it. You just find yourself naturally wanting to do things more with one wing than the other.
Now, because he does a lot of, even though he has large and long oversized wings, because everything he does is small and manipulative, he's actually not that great of a flyer, so his wing power is only 7. When he traveled to Philadelphia to visit with his family, it was his mother, Corkscrew Scissors, who helped lead the Pegasi team to break the 910 wing power record. Let's see. He's got a job. He works at the snowflake factory, and he helps, design the snowflakes. But he also does some other supervisory training, just because he's so flexible and so maneuverable. But typically, anyone he helps out, especially if it's related to the special topic, they exceed him. So anyone he helps out with something that he's good at, they always exceed him.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what he does. And then I got 3 more points just real quick. Main 6 in Ponyville. He has interacted with Main 6. After Rarity's visit to the Snowflake Factory, when she had her butterfly wings, Chopsticks had to work overtime to make up for lost production. He was not very happy about the event. And overtime meant cutting into his artistic projects that he was doing at home. He did not like that. It happened again when Rainbow Dash tried to sabotage the Weather Factory. She also took his lab coat and his hat when she was like trying to sneak in. That was his lab coat and his hat, and that was deducted from his paycheck because that's lost company property. So he lived in Ponyville for a short while, and he did stalk Fluttershy because he really liked her, but she did not like him back. And when she did start to finally warm up to him, he thought what had happened was he saw Angel Bunny being chased by one of the chickens, and he thought, okay, well, Angel Bunny is her, special pet, so I'm gonna help Angel Bunny. So he takes the chicken and he actually kicks one of Fluttershy's chickens, and Fluttershy goes, Angel Bunny sometimes has a bit of a anger management issue, and it's probably he probably deserved whatever the chicken was gonna do to him. But in short, he walked away from that, and he actually ends up disliking each of the main 6 for different problems, and usually related to misunderstandings.
Yeah, I can believe that. That's fair. I can see that happening. All right.
So I got a fanfic in the work for that.
Okay, cool.
But anyway, that's what I got for the backstory.
That's a really great, fleshed out character. It feels like there's a good story behind it. There's a world there that this character lives in, and a world that can sort of intertwine with the regular show without breaking the canon of whatever happens. The whole thing with Fluttershy, that's a very direct thing, but that feels like something that could just have happened on some arbitrary Tuesday,
Right.
It's just out of the blue.
Slice of life.
Yeah, like a little slice of life thing. That isn't even, it's like a crumb on the outside of the slice of life, you know what I mean? It's it's good, yeah.
I did learn through about, 10 years of fandoms and doing other fan arts and fan fiction, that you can have characters that are over dramatic without having them center, front and center and too much in the face of the audience. So they're not overpowering the main characters that everyone has come to learn about.
Yeah, and you're not doing the whole thing where it's like Rainbow Dash is in love with my OC. They have children together. They are the most popular couple in all of Equestria. I don't understand. And everyone else is just like,
I actually do have, because I'm into the grim dark pony stuff, it was actually suggested to me, even though I don't like ships at all, it was suggested to me, it's like, hey, maybe Pink and Mina should be your waifu. I'm like, no, I don't like doing this whole ship thing. But I started to dabble into it, and all of my brony friends just kind of shoved me into it, and finally I just was going to make a Facebook announcement, say, okay, this isn't really working, and then on the day I was going to make that announcement, one of my brony friends tagged me in a series of pictures and said, here, look, Chopsticks, it's your waifu. And then a bunch of people really liked it. I'm like, okay, great, now I'm stuck with this. So I made a comic based upon what that relationship would actually look like, and it's a case of Stockholm syndrome. Like if you take Diane is the pony, and to kind of separate her from the rest of Pinkie Pie and Main Six, Diane is an evil accident clone. Pinkie Pie. Yeah. And so she's regularly called Diane. And I come up with a comic series with these two. Yeah. I've gotten 0 hate. People love this. I've actually gotten one of my panels for my comic been shared. Safe estimate of over 100 times on Facebook.
Not bad.
If you make fun of yourself and you make fun of your own character, and if your character can stand as an antagonist, you've got a good character. That's what people love to see. It's interesting.
I really like this so far. Now I'm curious, what does Chopstick look like?
Okay. This is the character reference sheet.
Oh, I'm gonna see if I can get in there, get some good angles on it, see if there's anything I could do. Yeah, all right. So,
and the thing is, when you're doing character design, you want to get a quick snapshot picture of what the character might be like just from visualization. For example, like he's bipolar, so he's got a split tail to kind of help represent that.
Oh.
He's got his, you can see the oversized, longer wings.
Yeah.
He's asymmetrical. When I get artists that say, hey, I'm open to requests, I submit this, and they're like, he's too complicated. It's like, because
what is complicated about this?
You would be surprised. All the artists that have tried, and I would tell the artists, I said, okay, he's been challenging to draw. I kid you not. And they're all like, okay, well, I'm going to do it. And so they get challenged to try and draw him. And I haven't, I've seen some people get kind of close, but, but yeah, here you can see the show style reference. That's another picture.
Someone else made, yeah.
No, that's mine.
Oh, sick.
This
nice.
is all my art.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is my art
Oh
style.
yeah.
You can see him using chopsticks there. He uses wings. He's usually tired all the time, so he's got usually got these lines going on.
Yeah, yeah.
His hat. If you,
Yeah. I got it. I got it.
I actually had some people in the convention point me out because they knew who I was.
Nice. Right on.
I've only been a brony for about 9 to 10 months. I got 3,200 friends and followers on Facebook from this. But anyway,
Nice.
you can see like his fur is somewhat not perfect. Fur, mane,
yeah.
and tail slightly unkempt because he has no time to worry about perfect hygiene because he's got projects to work on.
He's got things to do.
So who cares about hygiene? I got projects to work on.
Yeah, yeah.
There's one picture.
Ah, it's plugged into a thundercloud. Oops. It's plugged into a thundercloud. I love it. That explains a lot.
There's the
full scale, the one from
yeah
Twitter.
for the show style.
Yeah.
You can see his cutie mark a little bit better that way.
Yeah.
This is true.
He portrays Flaws family. 3 days on his ritual dance, 3 weeks trying to name him. Yep.
And he still has the
Yup.
latest pony name of all my friends I know.
Yup. That. It's so true. I gotta show you guys this. All 3 hours and everything. God, it's so bad. That's so
This is
true.
true.
It's fucking
Sketch
character design, man.
Yeah, sketch dump.
Yeah. This is actually really good. I like this. Way cool. All right.
This is my profile picture that I use currently.
Waves hello. I love it.
And have you seen Ponytown?
Ponytown. A lot of people running around dressed up as Twilight.
Yeah, I got like 400 to 500 people into Ponytown because I posted the original picture, and everyone thought that these were actual options in the game. And so I actually had to edit my original post and put a disclaimer. It was like, guys, I am a pixel artist. I drew this, okay? These
Yeah.
are not features on the game, because people would be like, I'm looking for you, you're in the game right now, I'm looking for you. Then they'd like come back and say, wait, how'd you get the hat? I get that a lot.
Oh god.
But
Go fucking clap yourself. Yeah. It's good work. It's good work. I love it. Clapping everywhere. Oh god, no. I don't want it.
Right.
Solid.
There
Solid
you
work.
go.
Well, hey, I love it. I mean, it's a good solid OC, man. It's like I like the fact that we started with the story first, and then everything else, and it's just one of the things that I'm just like, it's such a good like fleshed out character that I hate finding OCs that are like, you know, I hate finding characters that have no backstory at all to them, or people that are just like, yeah, he did this, and then he was done. I'm like, okay, what about feelings? You've got feelings, you've got a backstory, you've got a large chunk of, I'm seeing it like what you're doing, and I'm noticing that it's like, yeah, you have this character figured out, and like everything for it is like, all right, this is what I can do with them, here's other things I can do with them. You've got like a great list of things that you are probably going to be doing with them in the future, right? Like you've got future plans, right?
Oh yeah. There were people when I first announced to my friends and followers I was going to Nightmare Nights. People were saying you should do a panel. You should set up a vendor booth. I'm like, guys, I've only been in the fandom for like 9 months.
Yeah.
Let me go to my experience my first convention first.
Yeah.
Okay, then we can talk about all the rest of it.
Yeah, even I'm just like, I've been in the fandom for 4 years, and I'm like, should I start making stuff? I don't know. I don't think I should, but it's a solid character. I really like it a lot. Chopsticks is a great character, and you nailed it. I think it's really good.
All right, thank you very much.
No problem, Chopsticks. Good talking to you, man. Good talking to you. Sorry. Yeah, the fact that guy had like everything figured out, all of his points for like future designs and characters and whatnot, really made it feel real. His character had character.
Yeah.
And plus his design was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Was it black and red?
no, it was like gray and blue.
Are they gonna go?
I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're being a fat bitch. I don't know. But yeah, he seemed okay. I want to get out of these clothes.
put on something a bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing Chrysalis on the last day because I don't have to be in it very long.
Nope.
And I can sit there looking angry at people and nobody will say anything.
Yeah, when you're just fucking done with the con and you're just like, you people are...
Literally all of my pictures I took were me just staring at people like this.
Alright, you need any help with this?
Tiny lurch.
Tiny wines?
Tiny wines.
Tiny wines? How about we go back to my place and have some, enjoy some tiny wines?
Tiny wines.
Tiny wines.
I'm marching these things.
Maybe I'm...
Huh?
Maybe I am just Daniel, man, sitting alone with his own solace and his manhood by himself, looking at the latest Victoria's magazine. I didn't steal your mail, Mr. Pemberton! Leave me alone! God, I love that guy. I don't know. I should end it with that. Squirrel!
I don't know.
Let's just end my grievances. Be like, hey, I have a problem with the fact that you guys didn't, have your shit together until the day before. And that really, puts a bind on, people that come to a con to enjoy things and to know what's going on and plan their schedules around it. Helps them build a cohesive weekend where they can enjoy time with their friends while also enjoying the, things that are coming along and, that's being offered. It really bums out a person. I don't know.
I don't know. Squirrel!
Squirrel!
I don't know.
I don't know.
And so
doing
every
good.
year he donates a big chunk of St. Jude, and he also, all the vendors got a handwritten note and a little pin we
Blood
got for
diamond.
y'all this year.
Blood diamond rarity.
He does so much
Can you
to
feel me soda?
make this con on the vendor side.
You want me another soda?
We'll get we'll go back to
He also
we'll
helped
get
us do the
another
Google
one.
calendar this year, so that's why it's semi-accurate. So, major props there,
Just
dude.
dragging on.
It's just a giant.
Oh no, Eli's getting upset. Please deposit French fry.
That's Kane. That's Kane. Canes. What? Canes? Chicken? Canes? 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 Raising Canes? I love it.
Deposits Drew Brothel.
Denied.
Anyway, so
Coke
this
Zero.
closing ceremony is just dragging on and on and on, and I just, it's what I tweeted, it's like,
So,
good
we have a
cons, but their
gentleman in the
closing
back of the
ceremony feels
top
like,
hat. He has a question.
look at this, oh,
What can we help
goodbye.
you?
This, it's like,
Yes.
I'm so bored. I'm so bored.
But I think you guys should think of it again,
Lists
maybe.
Yeah.
are hard to
Jason
find.
Knight.
We need to help finding panelists because panelists are hard to find.
Before they shut off our microphone.
Panelists are hard to find? Panelists are hard to find?
Very nice. Very nice. Our AV crew who we make do.
Why not just put a piece of paper, printed piece of paper right
think-
there?
I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't
something's
necessarily have
better
to be
than
like
nothing.
Everfree.
Why not a dry erase board?
Dry erase board. There you
I mean,
go.
literally
Dry erase
whatever.
board back there, there's a dry erase board in red.
But that would be very easy.
But you can go to the dollar store. Dollar store. Right there. Done.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, just
Um,
something.
my
No, those are dry erase boards. We can dry erase all over those things.
But the little bitty ones, just up next.
yeah.
Oh.
Like this time to this
3
time.
bags full of dry erase markers.
There you go.
Have the AV guy that sits in the room be like, all right, next I gotta do this.
There you go.
Very good idea.
It's a good idea.
Now my second grievance.
Yeah, and make sure that they get erased so they don't stick.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I'll have a
then,
trick for that too. So
My
God, it
second-
sounds like clickbait.
Alright, go ahead, Bob.
My second grievance is I noticed that a lot of the staff and volunteers were excessively rude. And there were several instances. Some of them were just language or tone of voice or body posture in general. I found it extremely... When it comes to customer service, I work in customer service. I help run conventions. I do security. I do public relations. I have a lot of experience within cons. And the way it was handled was not okay. And I did approach a couple of instances when I was just like, okay, that's not okay. And I was met with hostility.
Okay.
In several instances. And I don't feel like that's okay.
Well, sure. Do you have names or?
Okay.
Well, sure. Do you have names or?
Okay, so fucking hell, right? So when a head of a con sits there, when any representative from a established business or company or whatever, if someone ever has a complaint about, you know, oh my god, I wish I didn't want to have to do this, but it's just Jesus fucking Christ. When someone sits there and I can't help but, like, sit there and be like, what a fucking piece of shit. Like, he says it like, okay, do you have any names? Because, like, that's like inferring there's this little fucking shithead is sitting there saying this and acting as though, well, if I don't have a name of somebody, I can't do anything. Which I totally get. You're not going to sit there and just punish literally your entire, you know, security team or literally all of your staff. And I get that's not the point, but it's like he's sitting there saying this like, well, why didn't you fucking get a badge? Why didn't you, do you have any names? That's like, that's such like, well, you don't have a name? There's nothing I can do about it. Like, fuck, I hate, this was like the one thing, if anything right now if anything from that whole weekend was a major fucking turnoff of ever having to go back to that con, it was what came out of the fucking grievances panel. Fuck, I hate these guys. I mean, I don't mean to detract this much from the vlog, because literally I'm working on it right now, and I'm just like, how do you act this way as a con head? How do you sit there and go, okay, one of my staff members was rude to one of my guests. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right, so you don't have a name. All right. Do you happen to have a name for it? Okay, you don't know the name. All right, then around what time was this? At what, there's ways of being able to deduce and figure out what may have happened and whatnot. Be like, okay, this staff member was posted where, and what person was this that was doing this at this con, or what department was this person in? What, there's no investigation. There's no investigation here. It's just literally like, oh, somebody was mean to you. Don't have a name, can't fucking help you. And that's such like piece of shit do nothing answer. I fucking hate it. Fuck Nightmare Nights.
Yeah, you talked to me.
I did, and you flashed your badge at me, which I had to hold my tongue and not say, how dare you? Because no matter who you are, no matter what position you are in, you do not flash your badge at people. It's like saying, I am king, you have to listen to me.
So,
Okay.
Okay.
Hang on.
Did we say anything? You're violating con policy right now. You can't wear that here.
He did not say that.
And that's fair. I know what happened. I know what happened. So
Yeah.
why do you think someone who people are generally like think are nice, why would someone like that snap at you? It has nothing to do with you and the situation.
Okay, I
Like put yourself, what would cause you to snap at someone completely inappropriately? What in your life would happen that would cause you to do that?
well, personally, I'm an extremely patient person.
Yeah, sure. So,
but
like,
in
keep
general,
that in mind.
stress. And
Right.
yes, I get, like I said, I work with conventions. I get
He was short
that
on
running.
sleep because he was tracking down someone who sexually assaulted someone. He got him to sleep because we had to put a rapist in jail. And I appreciate his priorities. Like, you're right. Like, I sent him to bed this morning. Like, I'm right. But I'm sorry for interrupting, but like, that's what happened.
No, I get that. Like I said, I get that, okay? I have had to deal with rapists. I have had to deal with pedophiles in my line of work, okay? I totally get that. But like I said, you need to have a level head when working with kids, because this was a 13-year-old
Yes,
girl.
it was, and I heard it, and I apologize.
Not to her, to me.
Yes, no, I did. I said, I'm sorry. The person in question was a young child sitting atop a glass top table.
And
Last year, we had one break. That's a $300 piece of glass.
Yes.
And I will admit, I'm on 5 hours sleep.
Yes.
Split it 2.
That happens.
And
That's
I
working
have
with
been
kids.
very stressed. And I did apologize. Okay.
Who?
And
Oh, gave him a crumb.
really wish you hadn't said that.
No, he wasn't an attendee. He was tracked down.
No, he wasn't. He was.
But yeah, like, you're right. Like, we took our finger. People
I can
will
apologize. I'm sorry.
Like I said, there's no hard feelings. It could have just been handled better. And it wasn't just you this entire con. It was several volunteers. I can't give names because I don't remember. I can give faces. That's about it. Okay?
All right.
You
Fun
are
times.
great.
Staff was
You
fun.
are great. This con is great. The way that some of your volunteers handled certain situations went out okay. And my advice would be to have sensitivity training beforehand. I don't know if you guys do that, but every con that I've been to and I've worked with has sensitivity training beforehand.
Thank you. What else? Yeah, shoot.
So, I think.
So, grievances just ended, and this one was super salty the whole time. The question of panels came up. I didn't bring it up. It wasn't me. But he's like, after we, get through, community guidelines of who all is trying to submit a panel, like ripping on bad fan fictions or, EuroC sucks. And I was just like...
She
started laughing.
I laughed so hard. Like, they're like, oh yeah, we rarely ever deny any panels. And I was like, what would qualify for disqualification? Oh, things like, making fun of a bad fanfic or EuroC sucks. I went, oh my god.
That me.
He's like, hi, Mummified Thunderbirds, EuroC sucks.
Yeah, of EuroC sucks. And yeah, it's cool. I get it. Even though I sent you an email and then you never replied back to it.
Oh damn.
And I even
so
said,
salty right now.
And I even was like, hey, yeah, I'd be more than willing to change the name of my panel to something else. I mean, I can understand that if it's that case, we would definitely be. But seeing as though that's my show's name, not my name, or what the panel's name has to be, I'd be more than willing to change that. But no, they never got back to me. Because, as we've learned here, apparently, this is a hobby, and people just don't have time to do these things.
They do this most of the year, with the exception of 2 weeks, and it's a hobby.
It's a hobby. So in 2 years, in a year minus 2 weeks, they can't put signs on the doors. They can't,
Whiteboards that cost $1 at the dollar store?
Fuck, even printing off 24 sheets of paper. I mean, we figured it was eight panel rooms ish, right? 8 panel rooms, 3 days. Get out a fucking Excel spreadsheet doc, tape them to the signage by the doors. Be like, oh, this panel at this time, it's going to be this event at this room. It's 24 sheets of paper, and a person with 5 minutes on a Word doc. Oh, we didn't have time. Fuck you. Fuck you. You didn't have time. That's excuses. That's making excuses, and I'm not down for that. I can find a quick, easy solution that wouldn't have to deal with that.
They have no problem with airing dirty laundry. I'm not going to say what they said, but I can tell you right now, if any of the other conventions that I work at had heard what they had said, they would have been fired immediately. No, they were making excuses for why things didn't happen. They were playing the blame game, saying, "Oh, we weren't in charge of that. Oh, that's not our department. Oh, this you are con chairs. You are in charge of everything. You need to oversee."
If not
everything.
that, you are pushing it. You are making sure the head of that department is in charge of it and taking care of it. Where'd the other girls go? Did they go up and talk to somebody, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see where they are real quick.
Okay. So, a lot of this was just a lot of. I'm gonna sit down for this because a lot of this whole, what we could do better is just a lot of excuses. I don't know. It's a lot of excuses and a lot of things that I feel are just basic for a con. Like, I've been to small cons, like Trot. As much as I love, or as much as I rag on Trot, they were, in all intents and purposes, a solid con. They had a con that ran well. I don't associate with Trot anymore for reasons that I may or may not have disclosed, but whatever. And then there are, what I'm doing here, and I'm just like, this is rough. This is choppy. This is lazy. This is... I don't like it. I don't like what they did here. I don't like what this con was about. There are a lot of people here that did a lot of great things, and a lot of cool things happened here, that I've been sort of inspired to do in the future. But the fact that, there's not a whole lot that can be done. I mean, it's the little things that got passed over. It's the little things that, make a cohesive con. Signage saying, hey, registration's this way. And I'm not even asking for what they had at Everfree, those big giant signs with the different things that were on it. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for sheets of paper.
Is that supposed to be blood on your hair?
Who said that?
Some dude.
The guy you were just talking to in tan?
Yep.
That's one of the lieutenants for security.
I don't care.
I don't care either. I'm not saying position is important at all in this situation, but it's one of those things
Is that supposed to be blood on your hair? And I'm like, there's blood on my dress. And he goes, okay, well, we can't have gore here. And I'm like, okay,
con's over.
What does it matter? I've been in this outfit for an hour. What do you think?
If con's over, I'm not on your con right now. Con's over, go away. Whatever. I'm just kind of over this. I'm not... It's sad considering this is probably my only chance to come back to Texas. And I've left with such a sour taste in my mouth that I don't feel like ever coming back, and that really sucks because I know I've met a lot of cool fans. I know I've talked to a lot of cool fans in Texas. Texas is someplace that I would love to be able to come back for, but seeing as though Nightmare Nights is the biggest con in Texas, and Fiesta Equestria, last time I checked, has been either dead or highly suggested not to go to.
Don't come here. Don't come here.
I'm not coming to Texas for a con ever again, unless there's some magical Oklahoma con that opens up, and and I understand that some of the stuff that I do here, I do in the fandom can be misconstrued as
You're supposed to be a used tampon. Leave me alone.
It's good, it's great. No, she's not, and I can understand that some things that I do in this fandom can be misconstrued, and I'm used to dealing with that. But for something like this, They said it's okay, they want to pay their community guests the same they pay their show staff guests, and that's going to come with a lot of.
I think that's where part of their problem is coming from.
Yeah,
because you don't pay community guests as much as you pay show staff. I'm not saying that paying them the same amount is a bad thing. I'm just saying that the show staff, that's their job. Their job is to make appearances here.
With contracts.
The community guests are typically volunteers who like doing this for fun.
Mm-hmm.
So they will accept smaller amounts.
And that's the thing. It's whenever the few occasions that I've been community guest at things, I didn't expect much. I I've been at cons where community guest entails we're putting your name in the book, saying, hey, you're going to be here. I've been at places that are like, hey, we're willing to pay for travel and hotel. Thankfully, in those situations, that time was only the hotel that I needed because the travel was like a 6-hour drive. I didn't care. I was like, whatever, guys. That you don't have to worry about that. I'll get that. It's fine. I don't care. But it's also the thing that's like, well, you know, who the fuck are you bringing on as community guests? You had Silver Quill, Dusty Cat, and Full Papers, I think, was the only people here for community guests. And then you had a bunch of show staff. And I'm like, okay, how much of a pull are they going to bring? Okay, you have Full Papers. What the fuck does Full Papers even do?
I have no idea. I think he's a YouTube analyst.
I
Like,
would've-
he analyzes the show or something.
I wouldn't know. Dusty Cat is obviously Dusty Cat. You know, hey, that's great. You know, how he's probably going to pull a lot of people. You know, Dusty Cat's a well-known name. And then you've got Silver Quill. He's a very popular analyst. He's sort of almost taken up the title of lead analyst guy in the community because he's so big and popular and well-spoken. And I completely understand it. And I'm not trying to take away from anybody. I'm not trying to take away from, you know, what Silver Quill does or what any of them do. But
Next year I'm going to get into the
when you're denying people because you're not able to pay them as much, or you wouldn't be able to pay them, well, versus how much they're like being, oh god,